Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for week 6 of the Pokemon Premier League. My name is CBAD, coach of the Detroit Steel Wings. I have a voice today. I can breathe almost all the way through my nose. It is winter in the Midwest. We are going up against Lars and the Termanitar Warriors. I am really looking forward to this matchup, and I hope you guys are too. If you are, leave a like on the video. Goes a long way in supporting the channel, and of course, subscribe for more competitive Pokemon content. Definitely go check out Lars. He's got one hell of a team, and I'm really looking forward to going up against it. And of course, the rest of our coaches that are in the PPL this season. If you guys missed last week, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. We ended up walking away with a loss 2-0. We are currently 3-2 right now, so definitely looking to bounce back a little bit. Had a good start to the season. Not the most favorable position so far, but with a full 9-week season, we want to try to 6-3, 7-2, really, to kind of really secure playoffs based on differential. So want to make sure that we can walk away with a W on this one. There will be some text floating somewhere on screen in post-production if you guys want to hop right on ahead to the battle. I always recommend you guys watch the team builder so that way you guys know what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it. But all that being said, I appreciate you guys' time. You're going to start to see some teams appear on screen right about now. My opponent has a team that consists of Palafin, Iron Boulder, Scizor, Hydreigon, Sandy Shocks, Mandibuzz, Galarian Weezing, Heatran, Hisuian Zoroark, Chestnut, and Hisuian Electrode. 2 Terra Captains are going to be Iron Boulder and Hydreigon. Very, very scary. We're not dealing with any 0-point Terras this week around. As far as the speed tiers and the setup goes, of course, Hisuian Electrode is going to be very fast, so we got to be mindful about that at the end of the day. Hisuian Zoroark's a pain. I definitely have flashbacks to our game against Uzi last season, where he would just let off with it and just blew me backwards. So definitely want to be mindful of that as well. Very strong hazard support removal in Galarian Weezing and Mandibuzz and in Scizor, so I don't necessarily know if it's like the best game to try to get hazards up, but I'll certainly do my best to try to at the end of the day. That being said, let's go ahead and start breaking down the team. First Pokemon we are bringing hasn't worked out too well for us the last 2 weeks, so if this week goes south, I think we found the common thread, and it's going to make me really sad if it is, but either way, I think I need to bring it for the matchup. We are bringing Titano Strike, the Raging Bolt. They are holding their booster energy with the Photosynthesis ability, Calm Mind, Thunderbolt, Thunderclap, and Dragon Pulse. We have 192 EVs in HP, max special attack investment, 64 EVs in speed with a modest nature. With this spread, we are outspeeding a lot of the slower mons if they are 0 speeds, so something like Chestnut, something like Galarian Weezing, something like Scizor. Heatran could maybe show up. I don't know. I think Ceruledge can capitalize on a Heatran set with the right Terra, so maybe. But really, one of the speed benchmarks I was looking to hit was like Mandibuzz with just like a little sprinkle of speed on there. Mandibuzz with uninvested is going to hit 196. I hit 202, so I can hopefully hit it before like a Roost, a Toxic, what have you, with a very, very large Thunderbolt. The booster energy is going to be giving us the additional 30% buff to our special attack, so it's like a built-in Life Orb. One time, if we get phased out by like a Whirlwind, a Roar, Dragon Tail, Red Card, what have you, we lose that. But once I'm in. Calm Mind's boosting from there, always going to be very beneficial. The rest of the 192 EVs and HP just for the general bulk, and one of the reasons why I say I felt like I really needed to bring this set was first for a very reliable way to just like crush Mandibuzz, right? Like that can be kind of problematic. Screamtail I have shown to be pretty offensive under the right hands, but it needs a little bit of setup, and frankly Mandibuzz is bulky enough to where I can't get that setup. If I can't get that set up, then it just kind of is what it is, and it also really plays pretty favorably into both of my Terra Captains, so not 100% sure, you know, really a better scenario than going for this. So really just wanted to be able to shut it down. And another thing is that with the Palafin, I really wanted an opportunity. Like, Palafin may not show up because of Raging Bolts, but I don't want to make that plan and then all of a sudden Palafin show up. So being able to have the Thunderbolt, the Thunderclap opportunities for there will be really nice. Thunderclap can also do good damage into something like an Iron Boulder, a Hisuian Zoroark, Dragon Pulse into Hydreigon, Thunderclap even into a Hydreigon, with the booster energy and with a Calm Mind. I mean, after a while, the hits don't become resisted anymore, so any chip damage will be nice from that angle. Next up, we are bringing Mustache Merc on the Landorus Incarnate, holding his Life Orb with the Sheer Force ability. We have Nasty Plot, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, and Focus Blast. 128 EVs in HP, 128 EVs in Special Defense, 252 EVs in Speed with a Timid Nature. What does this do for us? I'm glad you asked, comment section. Max Speed, we do need to run because of the Palafin and the Hydreigon, really, even if I really wanted to make this my opportunity where I bank on Palafin not showing up. Hydreigon hits 98. I'm not gonna like tinker down the 12 EVs to save it. If it was a bigger gap, maybe, but with that, I might as well just run the max speed. So when the Palafin does inevitably show up, even though I don't plan on it, I've got enough speed to outspeed that and force it to go for like a jet punch or something. The special defensive bulk really helps us out with something like Sandy Shocks going for like maybe a Terra Blast, Hisuian Zora going for not an ice move. It helps us take some of the special hits from things like Hisuian Electrode and Hydreigon a little bit better. Heatran, Nasty Plot being able to boost up our special attack immensely, which is great. We don't need any investment after +2 to start picking up KOs. Earth Power goes a long way this week. Neutral in Hisuian Electrode, super effective in Iron Boulder, hits the Hisuian Zoroark, super effective into Sandy Shocks, hits the Palafin, hits the Heatran, hits the Scissor, hits the Chestnut. Actually, Psychic is, or excuse me, Sludge Wave is hitting the Chestnut, pardon me. Hits the Galarian Weezing if it's not Levitate. Focus Blast, really, really solid damage into something like Hydreigon and into Mandibuzz. Sludge Wave, very nice if it is a Levitate. If it is a Levitate Galarian Weezing, Sludge Wave will be nice there. Similar with the Chestnut, being able to go for that damage, just going to be chef's kiss at the end of the day. So that's going to be our spread there with Landorus. Next up, we are bringing Tide Reaver, the Hisuian Samurai. Now, he's holding his leftovers with the Sharpness ability. We have Ceaseless Edge, Flip Turn, Taunt, and Sucker Punch. 60 EVs in HP, 252 in attack, 4 in special defense, 192 in speed with a Jolly Nature. With this spread, from the top down, the maximum investment for overall attack with the Jolly Nature, just the max attack output and 252 EVs. 60 EVs in HP is optimized for leftovers, so we are getting 21 recovery every turn from that. There's no HP points left off the table once that becomes truncated in the rounding. 192 in speed is all that we need in order to outspeed a max speed Jolly Heat, or excuse me, max speed, I guess Jolly, but max speed boosting nature Heatran. That hits 278. We're hitting 279 to be a point faster than that. 4 EVs left over in special defense. Ceaseless Edge, like I said, the spikes go a long way this matchup, and he does have a lot of hazard removal that can pretty freely get a defog off unpunished with Scissor, Galarian Weezing with Mandibuzz. So if I can get a little bit of that chip damage on something like Hisuian Zoroark, on something like Palafin, Hisuian Electrode, you know, that's going to put me into a little bit of a more favorable position. Flip Turn is nice for being able to swap in and out if needed. Taunt, also good. We are faster than the Mandibuzz. We are faster than the Scissor. We are faster than the Galarian Weezing. So being able to taunt and stop the defog too, keep them in there just a little bit longer. Sucker Punch is nice for mons like the Hisuian Electrode, the Iron Boulder, the Hisuian Zoroark, Sandy Shocks, things along those lines. Next up, we are bringing Carabiner the Klefki. She's holding her Light Clay with the Prankster ability. We have Foul Play, Reflect, Light Screen, and Thunder Wave. Max investment in HP, 80 EVs in defense, 176 in speed with a Timid Nature. With this spread, we're outspeeding Jolly Scissor by 1 point, so our Foul Plays are going to be able to hit them first, so that way we don't have to worry about taking like an Iron Head, a knockoff, a U-turn. Foul Plays will always go first. Dual Screen with the Light Clay. Really helps out the rest of the team for Calm Mind Bolt, for Nasty Plot Landorus. You already see what's going on there. Thunderwave for a little bit of speed control, never hurt anybody at the end of the day, especially if we can get Hydreigon to Terra out of the Dark type. We're pretty free to just toss that off. Hisuian Zoroark, Iron Boulder, Palafin, things along those lines. Next up, Hosta Okidogi. He is running Terra Fighting this week with the Choice Scarf, Toxic Chain ability, Close Combat, Knockoff, Psychic Fangs, and Poison Jab. We have 4 EVs in HP, max attack investment, max speed investment with an Adamant Nature. Very similar song and dance to this. We are able to speed, let me just double check that speed here really quickly. 259 times 1.5. We're hitting 388, so we're outspeeding Iron Boulder by a few points. We're able to speed tie and outspeed things like a Timid Heatran, like a Modest Heatran, or Scarf Timid Heatran if it doesn't run max speed. We've got a good amount of investment in there. Really just kind of all in, hitting everything as hard as possible. We can't outspeed the Hisuian Electrode unless we even decide, I think even Scarf we can't outspeed Timid Hisuian Electrode, so, or even Jolly rather, I say that. So we're running Adamant just to get the most bang for our buck. Close Combat felt very, very unguarded this week. Once Galarian Weezing goes down, once Hisuian Zoroark goes down, Terra Fighting Close Combat's just on principle, just start to rip after a while. So Toxic Chain can do us some good favors with the 30% chance to poison, I believe it is. 30% chance to badly poison. Knockoff, Psychic Fangs, Poison Jab, all of those are just really kind of coverage moves specifically for some of those other mons. Poison Jab with the Toxic Chain, we might be able to get something with that. Psychic Fangs really there to help out with the Galarian Weezing at the end of the day. Poison Jab is neutral, so I wanted just a little bit more to kind of help out with that. You could see something like I believe Sandy Shocks gets screens as well. Sandy Shocks gets screens, Hisuian Electrode gets some screen, Reflect, Scissor gets light screen, so there could be some screen potential there, so I figured, maybe that was our best play opportunity overall there. Knockoff for removing the items, of course, at the end of the day. Last but certainly not least, we have Igris the Scarlet. Now he is holding his heavy duty boots with the Flash Fire ability. We have Substitute, Bulk Up, Shadow Sneak, and Bitter Blade. 72 EVs in HP, 252 in special defense, 184 in the speed with an adamant nature. With this spread, we are outspeeding Jolly Scissor by 1 point, so we are able to always just kind of come in and take a nice little Bitter Blade and call it a day. Bulk Up is really nice, especially with the adamant nature. After a while, we just kind of shut down the opposing side, which is great. And the max special defense investment paired with this, we're able to take special hits from things like a Boots or a Life Orb Hydreigon, depending on the build. Hisuian Zoroark, we're able to take those Hisuian Electrodes, so we're able to take those a little bit nicer. Go for the bulk up there. We can take fire moves if it's like a Heat Wave on Hydreigon, if it is the Heatran, if it is, any fire coverage on Hisuian Zoroark or Galarian Weezing, we can take those and power up our Bitter Blade, which will be nice. But the bulk up paired with that is going to put us into a really, really good spot if we can position that right. So that is going to be the team. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys at the battle. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Week 6 in the PPL. My name is CBAD, coach of the Detroit Steelwings. We're taking on Lars. I am very excited for this matchup. Lars has a very, very scary team. If you guys missed the team builder, you guys see the 6 that I am bringing on screen. As always, big thank you to Lars. Definitely go check out his channel. Link will be in the description. He very, very, very gracious with the time zones changing and toddlers not understanding time zone changes. My schedule's a little bit thrown off today, so we're running a little bit behind on that, and just carefree and polite and cordial, and I sincerely appreciate that. So please go show him some love on my behalf. All that being said, leave a like if you're excited, subscribe for more Draft League content, and I'll catch you guys at Team Preview. All right, we've got the Palafin, we see the Scizor, we see the Hydreigon, we see Sandy Shocks, we do see the Galarian Weezing, and we see the Chestnut. Okay, definitely a different team than I was expecting, because I'm going to be honest, I was trying to figure out how exactly do I stop Hisuian Zoroark from clicking things. So I'm glad not to see that. Equally surprised not to see Iron Boulder in this matchup. I think that one had some really good, really good potential here. I think as far as it goes, my initial thought is, that like Scarlet doesn't feel too bad in this matchup. It is Terra Ground on the Hydreigon. So Terra Grass feels very nice on Scarlet. So I'm not against Okidogi off rip. I think let's lead off Samurott, right? Let's lead off Samurott. Only can defog away, so I think if I can get a Ceaseless Edge off early, that'll be nice. If it's a Palafin, I can always go for a flip turn. I can try to go that route. Could always go for something like close combat, but that's going to be my thoughts. That's going to be my plan of attack here. Like I said, very excited not to see, very, very excited not to see things like the Hisuian Zoroark. The Heatran was another one I was concerned about. Jet 2 Holiday, the Palafin. Here we are. Okay. Okay, so I am slower than this thing. However, I think... so a banded close combat from Baby One would knock me out. However, if you're banded, do I not just go out into, like, Raging Bolt thereafter and click Calm Mind? Something along those lines? I don't think you do. I'm going to flip. I'm going to flip, dip, and skip right now. Yep, there's the flip turn. 287. That did 15%, so you are not banded, which is good to know. Very, very good to know. I will take that. Goes out into Weezing. What do we see? Levitate, Neutralizing Gas, a little bit of both. We don't see the Neutralizing Gas, which is good. We also don't see Rocky Helmet, which is a good thing as well. That flip turn got a little bit of a high roll on it. So definitely feels like a... Definitely feels, obviously Levitate, right, is where I'm thinking of. Sludge Wave does, it two-shots this thing. So I don't mind going out into Landorus and trying to get a Sludge Wave off. I also don't hate the idea of a Nasty Plot either, just to really push this thing. Because, like, I could have Psychic, right? That's kind of a general thought here. So let's go for that. I'm going to try that. Let's try that. So went into this thing pretty confidently on the Samurott. Maybe it does have defog. I'd imagine it does have defog to an extent. Something like a Sludge Bomb's not going to hurt me from an uninvested set. Dazzling Gleam, yeah. I'm with my bulk, I can pretty safely go for a Nasty Plot in front of this thing. And then Sludge Wave should be able to take it down. Withdraws, perfect. Goes out into maybe the old, what is this? Okay. There's my Nasty Plot. Sludge Wave should knock this thing out. Let's go for that. Beautiful. Thunderous KO's Chestnut with Sludge Wave. 1 down, 5 to go. In comes Palafin. So you're not banded. I know that much. Could you be scarfed? Because I also outspeed this. So an Adamant Jet Punch from non-banded does not kill me, and an Earth Power would take this thing off the map. I'm going to go for an Earth Power. Because if you flip turn and you're scarfed, if you flip turn, you go before me, we know this now. And I will live it. But if you're not, I still live the Jet Punch, like I said. So let's see what happens. Ice Punch. You are Scarf Ice Punch. Beautiful. Palafin KO's Landorus with Ice Punch. Beautiful. Love that for us. Okay. Now, what I would like to do is I could commit Terra on Ceruledge. How much is Bitter Blade to defensive Galarian Weezing? Not much. I'll go back out into Samurott here. We'll get a flip turn off. Let's get a flip turn off. I would like a spike eventually. That'd be nice. Withdraws, perfect. Get a little bit more chippies off on Weezing here. I like that. Thunderbolt after the booster energy should also be doing quite a bit to it. So I'm curious if I go into this and I get my booster energy off, right? That would put Thunderbolt at a good range. Let's do that now. I should be faster than this. So let's go for the Calm Mind. Because what I'm anticipating is that if you don't want to stay in on this thing, is that Sandy Shocks would then come in, right? And after a special attack boost, I can handle Sandy Shocks. The special attack photosynthesis boost on Sandy Shocks, I'm still taking an Earth Power 61 to 72. Here comes Sandy Sheiks. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's get that Calm Mind up. So again, Earth Power, and it's not even photosynthesis. It's not even that. So Earth Power is going to do 46 to 56 from Timid. And if it specs, I'm still living that. So let's go for the Dragon Pulse here. Goes to the light screen. Ooh, I like that. I like that. We both brought screens. Well, to now get a turn of recovery back, or to get an extra turn off of this, I'll go for another Calm Mind. I can't imagine that with screens you have a lot of special attack investment, but we'll see. It can still do about half. 439 to 259. Yeah, they did about 41%, so you're not invested. You're actually uninvested. Which is great, because now another Dragon Pulse is able to take you out. So let's go for that. Maybe Light Clay? Maybe Light Clay on this thing? When I'm a +2, you'll put me down to around 30-ish%, 25 to 30% if you go for another Earth Power here. The next Dragon Pulse should knock you out. And like I said, we're able to mitigate a turn of screens damage. Yeah, that puts me down to 113. Yeah, put me right around mid-20s. So Dragon Pulse should knock you out. Perfect. Raging Bolt KOs Sandy Shocks. All right, 2 down, 4 to go. In comes Hydreigon. So, what I want to do here is I honestly think I'm letting this go down. I'm just going to go for the Dragon Pulse. Yep, there's your Terra Ground, so I can't clap you. That's okay. That is fine with me. Earth Power, yeah, will knock me out. Okay, that's fine. The Dragon KOs Bolt with Earth Power. Don't see a Life Orb or anything on this, though, which is fine by me. Let's go into Samurott. I don't think he's seen my item yet. Like, a Draco would put me down. But I feel like you also have to respect that I don't believe you've seen my item yet. And if you're locked into Earth Power, for whatever reason, if you're locked into Earth Power, that's unfortunate because I'll be able to get Sarah Legend and I can start going for bulk ups behind it. Withdraw is perfect. Yeah, you do not know my item yet, and I love that. I love that here. Goes out into Coco Bloco, which is the Scissor. Yes, that is the Scissor. Fine by me. Let's go out into Sarah Ledge here. So like the Bitter Blade comes out, right? Like that's kind of where we're at. I'm gonna go for a substitute. I'm gonna go for a sub here. I'm gonna get behind a sub. I can Terra Grass on the Palafin and get like a Shadow Sneak off before it breaks the sub, or a Bulk Up off if it goes for like a Wave Crash or something. We'll see what Palafin locks itself into at the end of the day. But I think by preserving Terra right here, like if Scissor goes for the knockoff, I'm faster than it. Yes. Yes, I'm always 1 point faster than Jolly Scissor, so it's not Scarf by any means. Goes down to the Wheezing. All right, perfect. I am going to go for a bulk up here. I don't know what it wants to do to me. I'm going to hold Terra again, like I said. I'm going to get my bulk up off. It could have haze. Like, I believe this is like a decent haze user, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it does get haze. If like he makes that call, okay, then we just play the Bitter Blade game where I get what recovery I can back off of you. We know that you're not helmet, anything along those lines, so I'm okay with that. Withdraws. Perfect. So I'll get the bulk up off if he goes out in a Jet 2 Holiday. Oh, goes back out into the Hydreigon here. Okay. So if I go Terra Grass here, I mean, Bitter Blade I feel like is always my best play, right? Like, I'm always going to live that. So I don't think it necessarily matters what you go for here. Has the Dark Pulse as well. Okay. Good to know. The way he's playing it could be choice locked. Dark Pulse does 33 to 38 to me after I Terra Grass. That was a good amount of damage back. I like that. Opposing team's light screen wore off. Okay. So let's go on ahead and go for the Terra. And I believe I'm going to go for another bulk up here. So it was Clay on Sandy Shocks. Good to know. We've worn out the light Clay, which is great. I have another special attacker, so it didn't matter too much. But we'll go on ahead and get the Terra off here. I am Flash Fire if he's got, like, Flamethrower, Heat Wave, things like that. Oh, you are Specs. You are Specs. But the good news is that that flinch was extraordinarily painful. So let's go out into Samurott here in the next one. That was a little unfortunate on the flinch, because even if I went for a Bitter Blade, right, it wouldn't have been a good show. There's a Dark Pulse again. That looked like a lot of damage. We'll get our leftovers here. I will try to get a Sucker Punch off. Like I said, I would like a Spike Up at some point. If I can get that off in front of the Wheezing, you know, great. But I want to keep Scissor around because it does help out with the... Or I want to keep Cerulege around because it helps out with the Scissor. My unfortunate part here is that I've lost my steel and my steel resist on that. Okay, here comes Scissor. I believe I'm in a similar speed tier with... Yes, I am in a similar speed tier with Samurott. Okay. So let's go for a... I could taunt the Swords Dance, right? I could also just go for a Ceaseless Edge here. Let's go for the Ceaseless, because Swords Dance into the Sucker Punch is fine by me. We'll get good damage off. We'll get the Spike Up. There's the U-turn. That'll knock me out, which is fine. Scissor. Okay. Still got Okidogi in the back, which helps out with the Palafin to an extent. I think I want to go into keys and get some screens up. We're reaching a point in the end game now where I would really appreciate screens. But I think if the Wheezing comes in, then I have to go out into... We'll calc it. We'll calc it. I'm curious what the damage rolls are on something like Okidogi. Like Psychic Fangs into that. Because we've even got an opportunity to still use some Thunderwave magic on things like the Palafin too. In comes Jet 2 Holiday. That is fine. Okay. Jet 2 Holiday was hurt by spikes. I will go out into Klefki here, and I will get the Reflect up. Yeah, let's just go for a Reflect here. I don't think you want to be Thunderwaved on a Scarf Palafin.
I do not think he'd like that. And maybe with some enough damage, we can put ourselves in a position to where Scarlet can still bring it back. Here comes the Scissor. Great. Boots on Scissor. Okay. Did Scissor lose Defog? No, Scissor has Defog. Okay. I'll just go for the foul play here. Not too bad. There's the knockoff. Okay. That was a crit. Go for a Thunder Wave here. Get a little yellow color out. Maybe prevent a defog. Maybe do something. We can foul play this thing down. Here's the U-turn. Okay. Fine by me. Still got the spikes up. Still got the spikes up. We'll see how well that spike plays us out in the endgame. Scarlet is faster than both Scizor and Weezing. Little bit of chippies on Hydreigon could go a long way. In comes the Hydreigon. Okay. Let's just go for the light screen here. Get that up. We'll have 5 turns of light screen in front of this thing. Depending on the roll into Weezing, it's looking mildly Psychic Fangable with Okidogi in the endgame here. There's the Earth Power that maybe knocks me out through screens. It does. Okay. Okay. Question for those at home is, how is Scarlet doing behind a light screen now from an Earth Power? 13 to 16%. So I think I'm in a good spot to always go for a Bitter Blade here. Just get a little recovery back. Withdraws, perfect. Goes out into the Scissor. All right, we'll get a little recovery back from the Scissor. All right, Scissor's gone. 3 down, 3 to go. So now Palafin Hero. Choice Scarf. With Ice Punch. Behind a Reflect. Where is my Reflect? 40 to 48. Hold on. Hold on. In comes the Hydreigon again. Okay. Light screen is up. Light screen is up. I think let's just go for the Bitter Blade here to get what recovery we can back. There's the Draco, 26 to 31. Is that a crit? Oh, I'm not calculating for specs. That's right. That's right. All right, Scarlet KO's Hydreigon with Bitter Blade. That puts me at like 73 HP. 24%. Okay. In comes Jet 2 Holiday. A little bit more spikes damage. I have 2 turns of Reflect and 2 turns of Light Screen back up. I will go for the Shadow Snake for some chip damage on this. There's the Ice Punch. All right. Palafin KOs Ceruledge. Ice Punch. All right. We go out in Okidogi here. You're locked in the Ice Punch, but your choice Scarfed. Psychic Fangs makes the most sense to me. Right? Psychic Fangs is about 30 to 35. Psychic Fangs is 27 to 32 to Wheezing as well. 38 to 45 to Wheezing, and then Palafin Hero. Poison Jab is doing more technically. I think I have to lock into the Psychic Fangs here. Withdraws. Okay, that is fine. That should 2-hit KO. It should. It should. My Reflect wore off, which is unfortunate, and my Light Screen wore off there. All right. We'll go for the Psychic Fangs again. That will be Wheezing down. I guess it'll come down to what you're outspeeding with a Scarf, truly, honestly. Because if it's Talonflame, I'm 1 point faster than something creeping Talonflame. Right? But the Zen Headbutt will kill me here, if you land it. Oh, Wave Crash. Hold on. Hold on. Let's go, Okidogi. Is that a 1-0? Skin of my teeth? Oh my goodness. That was a game. That was a game. GG's to Lars. That was a really fun one. A lot of good back and forth there. Hydreigon was a menace. I don't think there was anything too drastically like haxy either way. I think there was one crit maybe, but like no full paras, no freezes, no Spadef drops. So I think it was a really good game. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys have, leave a like. Definitely, like I said at the beginning, go show Lars some love. I'd certainly appreciate the time, the flexibility, the patience he extended to me this morning. Always appreciate that, especially when things come up on the day-to-day that are unforeseen. I know it can be annoying, so I definitely appreciate it when people can extend grace my way, but we are still in it. That is going to put us at a... Goodness, where are we at now? That is going to put us at a 4-2 record plus 5. So I think if we can snag 1 or 2 more, we're locked in for playoffs. So we'll see how things keep up. We definitely have our work cut out for us against Numb Nexus next week, so definitely stay tuned for that one. Hope you guys have enjoyed. As I've already said, leave a like, subscribe for more Draft League content, and I want to remind you guys to be great and do great. And I'll see you guys next week for game day. Later.